Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 854, written by BrunchBabadook. From disorder emerges a glitch in the matrix. This isn't a really crazy story, but I'm still kind of besides myself. I work in a real estate office that's open 7 days a week, so I'm here now on a Sunday. It's a really tidy place usually, including my desk, which I always keep pretty clear, and since I'm basically the office administrator, I know where everything is, down to the scuffs in the shelf under the thing that holds all the envelopes in the supply room. I came in this morning to open up, and the whole office was in total disarray. Been working here for over a year, and I've never seen it so tossed around. So I started putting things back where they belong, before I even sat down. The alarm had been set like usual when I came in, so unless someone was here after we closed yesterday, or just carpet bombed the place at some point before they left, I have no other explanation for why it was so disorganized. Since it's a Sunday morning, I never see anyone until noon at the earliest, and the real estate market in this area is slow during this time of year, so lately I've been alone all day for the last several Sundays. There was no one in the building when I arrived. If there had been, the alarm would have gone off. The whole place was dark when I came in, and it's not a large space. I definitely would have known if someone else was here. When I finally arrived at my desk, my mouse and the mousepad were both missing. The keyboard was there, some documents had been moved, but they were nearby so I could account for them. My mouse is wireless. There's just no reason for it to be gone, along with the mousepad. I was super frustrated and looked around on my coworker's messy desk, on the floor. Maybe it got pushed aside for some reason. Nowhere to be found. At this point, I'm not thinking this is some unexplainable phenomena, just some other thing that ended up totally displaced. I ended up stealing a mouse from a computer that is hardly ever used. I have things to do, so I didn't want to dedicate much time to hunting for missing mouse and mousepads. When I went back to my desk, both the mouse and the mousepad were in the place they always are, to the right of the keyboard. I even plugged in the mouse I had stolen, not even looking at my desk beforehand, because I was so sure my mouse wasn't there, because it wasn't. Then I looked up and was astonished to find them both there. I guess this could just be a case of I didn't have my coffee yet, but I swear my mouse and mousepad weren't there on my desk until I returned. Case notes for file 854. From disorder emerges a glitch in the matrix. So as I was reading the story, the thoughts were forming in my head that, maybe this was just some disgruntled employee that was working there, maybe a cleaning person that was mistreated or something, and they wanted revenge. However, of course, as the story progresses and the mousepad and mouse come back in almost real time, well, what happened there? The cleaning lady was hiding somewhere, you didn't notice her, she returned the mouse and mousepad, which, why would you steal that anyways? They're so cheap, it's inconsequential. So she returns that, and then you still don't notice her, and then they're there. I don't buy that. That doesn't make any sense to me. It isn't impossible, I just would not stake any money on that theory. We can't always account for SADS, sudden adult death syndrome. People just start dying randomly, so maybe that happened to you. The disorder was caused by a disgruntled employee, but the mouse and mousepad weren't stolen, or they were from in the original universe. You died and then you're in a new one, and there was still a disgruntled employee that messed the whole office up and was hiding somewhere, so as to not to trigger the alarm. But they didn't steal the mouse and mousepad. Still, I don't know if that fits either, because it's just so inconsequential. Why steal something like that? Instead of a computer or something that has some value, a couple $100 for that. A mousepad, you might get $10 for that, reselling it? I don't buy it. I suppose we can just chalk it up to the chaos of the universe. Maybe some glitches are just that. Total random chaos. Fitting for this glitch. Creepy file number 68. Written by Chrissy510. My dog, Cosmo, the champion defender. A few years back, I was living with my aunt and uncle after moving to a new state. They had just moved into a new home in a new subdevelopment. In this area, door-to-door salesmen swarm new developments and new builds for water softeners, cleaning supplies, solar panels, generators, and the Kirby vacuum people. They wander the neighborhood all day, knocking on doors, but are usually gone by around 5 p.m. This particular evening, I was home alone with my dog, a mutt who was mostly black lab and an unknown mixture. He was roughly the size and weight of a full-breed Labrador, but he had a stockier build and long, wiry hair. He was a gentle, sweet baby who was upset if someone spoke harshly to him. I'd never known him to be threatening to anyone. My aunt and uncle were out celebrating their anniversary. This time of year, the days were getting longer, and we would have full dark by around 8 p.m. It was about 7 p.m. now, and starting to get dusky, when someone rang the doorbell and knocked on the door. The door was one of those with a thick glass oval window, and I could see the door and who was there from the kitchen. I was just going to ignore them, but unfortunately they could see me and continued to knock, so I went to answer the door. My dog followed me, but stood off to the side in the shadows of the dining room. The person at the door was a young man about college-aged, dressed in a collared shirt and tie and khakis. Looked a bit like a Mormon missionary, but with style. He was thin and about my height, 5'8", 5'9". I figured he was a salesman of some sort, but thought it was odd he was out this late in the day. I thought I'd open the door a crack, tell him I'm not interested, then lock the door. I opened the door a few inches to speak through, and he starts his spiel about Kirby vacuum cleaners, and he wants to come in and give a demo. It's not my house. I know once they get in, they aren't leaving without selling something, and have no need for an overpriced vacuum, and don't have $1,000 to spend anyway. I tell him, "No thank you, I'm not interested," and begin to close the door when he puts his foot between the door and the door jamb and throws his hands up to stop the door from closing. This is when I think, what the hell, and hear a vicious growling behind me and to my right, and then a loud deep bark, 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 as my dog lunges for the door. I grab his collar to keep him from going out the door. The guy's mouth drops open, his eyes get really wide, and he looks like he's ready to pass out or pee himself as he jumps back from the door and backs away saying, I'm sorry, wrong house, and then turns and runs to the end of the driveway where a car with 3 men in it pulls up to get him, and they speed off, tires squealing. I told my aunt and uncle about it when they got home, and we told a few neighbors so they could keep an eye out for any unusual behavior. It is possible they were a team of Kirby salesmen. They do travel in teams of 4 usually and follow the door knockers in the car with the vacuum. But I was suspicious because it was late in the day for them to be knocking on doors, and it was a team of 4 men. Usually they have a team with 2 or more women in the group because they are knocking on doors at a time of day when women are going to be home alone and unlikely to let strange men in. So was this a team of Kirby salesmen working late to meet quotas, or a team of home invaders posing as such? I don't know, but Cosmo wasn't going to take chances. Case notes for the creepy file number 68. Cosmo, the champion defender. So I have to say I actually found this somewhat humorous, even though I know in the moment it would be kinda terrifying. But just the image in my head of this well-dressed young man knocking on your door and then running away and being picked up by this super aggressive team of Kirby vacuum salesmen. It's like the whole image is just so hilarious to me. Now, most likely they were just posing as salesmen of some sort. They probably wanted to steal your stuff. I wouldn't wager money on that. But still, you know, they really had to meet their quota. Let's just say that. Sell those vacuums, man. Take care of the disorder from the previous glitch. But you have one hell of a good dog. Give Cosmo a treat from me. He deserves it. And that's me, Kinetic Symphony, signing off. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Take care.